ValveTime.net.
Hi, and welcome to the ValveTime news for June 23rd, 2015. Each week, we bring you the biggest talking points regarding Valve and the community. Moments prior to our last Roundup episode going live on YouTube, Valve unveiled Part 2 of the Dota 2 Reborn beta, which was then followed by Part 3 released a day later on Wednesday. In case you've forgotten since last week, the Reborn beta functions as a separate client for Dota 2 running on Valve's Source 2 engine. One of the major attractions of the client is, of course, custom games and a brand new set of modding tools previously featured in the Workshop Tools Alpha. The Part 2 page largely covers the process of finding, playing, and rating custom games thanks to direct integration with the Steam Workshop and a new lobby browser. The game's matchmaking system has also been enabled for custom matches, making it pretty easy to quickly find a suitable lobby as long as there are other players searching at the same time. In order to try and demonstrate the new tools and interface to the community, Valve are releasing Valve-authored custom game modes created by their own internal teams, the first of which is named Overthrow. Overthrow places upwards of 10 players of varying team sizes in a small arena surrounding a Midas throne, where experience, gold, and items are provided while players are forced to fight to the death until a certain number of kills is reached. The second custom game, which has yet to be revealed, will apparently be released sometime in the next few weeks or months. The second half of the Part 2 page focuses on the development tools themselves, drawing attention to the new Hammer editor and its associated tools, including the material, model, and particle editors, all of which should help make it easy to create custom mods without ever having to leave Valve's own software landscape. Other information from the Part 2 page revealed that developers will be able to use the Lua programming language for most of the game's functions and assets, while a new panorama user interface will make it easy to create dynamic heads-up displays with integrated XML, CSS, JavaScript, particle effects, and 3D models, something demonstrated quite nicely in the Overthrow game mode. In Part 3, Valve changed focus and began discussing the Source 2 engine itself, name-dropping it for the first time in far too long. Much of the page reiterates what we already knew to expect from the updated engine, such as improved networking and loading times, updated rendering using the Vulkan OpenGL API, but a few extra points provide some rather nice surprises, such as smoother and more responsive game inputs, higher quality audio across the entire game, and more realistic physics and cloth systems. As we've known for years and years, the Source Filmmaker is fully compatible with Source 2, allowing filmmakers to really dive into some of the engine's powerful new additions, such as being able to edit within pre-created game replays while adding custom animations and models, changing map environment and themes, and moving away from the default camera angles. As we mentioned last week, Valve are planning to run the Reborn beta for several months, running up until and shortly after the International 2015 in August, so you have a decent amount of time to check it out while it's still in development if that interests you. To download the beta, simply load up your regular Source 1 version of Dota 2, head to the Play tab and click the Reborn beta icon on the left. From there, you can begin downloading the separate client before loading it up by selecting the middle option when trying to start Dota 2 from your Steam game library. Thankfully, profile statistics and cosmetic items are persistent across both versions of the client, meaning you can still play matches on the Source 2 version without having them not count towards your overall progress. There are a lot more specific details about Source 2 and the Dota 2 Reborn beta should you want to head on over to either of our articles on ValveTime.net or the press announcements, but we've covered more or less all the basics here. With so much new content flowing out of Dota 2 Reborn and Source 2 all at once, we would have been missing a huge opportunity by not showing off some of it as soon as we had the time. While we obviously can't show everything, we did release a pair of videos this past week, one of which focuses on the all-new dashboard, while the other shows off the kind of gameplay you can expect in the aforementioned Overthrow custom game mode. Both videos show off very different aspects of the new beta client, with one more slowly and methodically demonstrating all the new and unfinished functionality, while the other is just Nick trying and possibly failing to echo slam his way through a 3v3v3 match, so head on over if you're interested in seeing if his two teammates can carry him to victory. The continued hype surrounding Dota 2 has helped the ever-growing International 2015 prize pool reach even greater heights this past week, surpassing the penultimate $14 million milestone this past Friday. This particular milestone unlocks a new set of weather effects for all Compendium owners as soon as it's released alongside the ever-growing list of unfinished prizes, which will most likely take a backseat for a short while Valve's team focus their efforts on stabilizing Source 2 and the Reborn beta in the run-up to their official replacement of the Source 1 engine. With E3 taking the gaming world by storm this past week, it's expected that a bunch of smaller announcements get lost in the ether, and no, it's not what you think it is before you start posting about it down in the comments. Last weekend saw TT Games release their latest trailer for LEGO Dimensions, an upcoming collectible adventure game akin to Skylanders and Nintendo's Amiibo figures. Given publisher Warner Bros. Has connections to a massive number of influential intellectual properties of all kind, the game will bring together characters and locations from a massive number of films and games such as Lord of the Rings and Back to the Future, with third-party IP such as Doctor Who also jumping on board. But why exactly are we talking about LEGO Dimensions here in a ValveTime news roundup? Well, the trailer in question was largely focused on the inclusion of Portal-themed content, including characters such as Shell, GLaDOS, and even Wheatley as the game's primary protagonists. Gandalf, Batman, and the LEGO movie's Wildstyle end up teleporting right into the middle of an Aperture Science testing track non-canonically set at the end of Portal 2. Purchasing the real-world Portal LEGO set will unlock the in-game downloadable content, letting players play around with portals as they solve Aperture-style puzzles alongside new mechanics exclusive to Dimensions. There's currently no confirmed release date for the Portal 2 pack, but the inclusion of one of Valve's most popular and fun intellectual properties alongside Doctor Who, Back to the Future, and Lord of the Rings is really starting to make Dimensions difficult to avoid. Extra gameplay footage of the Portal set was last shown at E3 itself, which we'll link to at the end of this episode in a short while, so stick around for that. If you need a little more awesome in your life, look no further than Half-Line Miami, a video game mashup between Half-Life 2 and Hotline Miami, first shown off in a trailer uploaded by YouTube user Thomas Cole this past Friday. Given the game will cross pretty heavily into copywritten territory, the game will be available to download for free from IndieDB sometime in the very near future. For now, make sure you head on over to the trailer to see what all the fuss is about. You won't regret it. This week also saw the release of new updates for both Team Fortress 2 and Counter-Strike Global Offensive, both of which introduced some minor improvements to functionality, including CSGO's replay system and TF2 Maps Workshop. Neither update is particularly groundbreaking in any way, so we're not going to go into any further detail. We just thought we'd mention them briefly should you care enough to want to check out the update changelogs. You'll find links to the patch notes alongside other relevant info for everything else we've spoken about in the episode video description, as always. While we're on the subject, we'd like to take a quick few moments here at the end of this episode to wish the Counter-Strike series a big ol' happy 16th birthday as of this past Friday, June 19th, 2015. In terms of Valve's games, Counter-Strike's is the greatest survivor, persisting at some massive level of popularity or acclaim throughout more or less the company's entire history, consistently proving its relevance across decades even when its slightly older half-brother Half-Life continues to slumber. Global Offensive's current dominant position in the gaming and esports worlds that 1.6 and Source Games helped shape just proves Counter-Strike has never been bigger, so we're sure you'll join us in wishing virtual terrorists everywhere a happy birthday. And that'll wrap up another week of Valve News. As usual, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch TV, to check out our other content, and to join all the latest conversations over on the ValveTime.net community forums. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.